How's it going? I am Josh with the Illuminerdi. Jay, Emily, how are you guys doing?
Great.
Great. Yeah. Thanks for having us. This is super fun. I love doing these. Actually.
Thank you for joining me. This season is a lot different than what we've seen in the first two. Your characters, the AIs that you guys are portraying, are a lot more advanced than where either Lilith or the original scifi units were. How did you kind of prepare to take on this role? Did you watch the first two seasons? Did you kind of come in new?
Yeah, that's a good. For me, I did want to. So before I didn't even really know about artificial until obviously I heard about this role and stuff. But I did watch a couple episodes just to be familiar with this world at all, and for me it was like a totally brand new, unique experience for me. Like there's audience interaction a lot, and it's just it seems like one of the most innovative shows that I've seen, like just not just on Twitch, but ever. And so I just got familiar with just that, but I didn't really go in depth to the character of Lilith, but I was aware of her. And but just from seeing snippets of her, like it seems like our characters they're trying to make our characters a little more human and than her actually. So in a sense, they were getting a little more dynamic with human emotions. Obviously, there's still the human interaction involved, but it was a totally new slate, I think, for our characters. Yeah. I don't know how you felt about that, Em.
Yeah, it was the same thing. I watched I think the last episode of the previous season. I watched a couple just to, again, get familiar with it. Because, I mean, Ember and Kai, they both really don't, like, they're new to the world. So, like, for me, when I first got the script, I was like, okay, like, I kind of want to see the world as Ember does. And that's, like, a lot, like, there's a lot I don't know, but then there's like, a few things we do know just to get familiar with the show and stuff like that. But I did come in with a pretty like clean slate on it, but it's been fun. And I have never done anything like this before. And I've never heard of any other show that does anything like this either. So like having that like Twitch, like chat, we don't get to see the chat, but like having to see it like afterwards and like reading the comments, it's like so fun to see what everybody's voting on or what everybody's fighting about too.
Right. So that kind of leads me into one of the other questions I wanted to ask you guys. So when you're running the show, I'm sure you've got like some kind of a rig that you're wearing for motion capture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while you're performing, do you have a producer in the background that's sending you respond to this or respond to that?
Yes. Yeah. So we're all the actors are connected through earpiece, and we can hear everyone, and we can hear the producers through that. And so they give us updates on what the Twitch chat is saying, and we also, they'll give us the results like maybe seconds before it comes in, but they'll try to keep us on our toes.
Yeah, the results, like, it's normally like you hear in the background, it's like, okay. It's like Nova 1, do scene like this. And we're like, okay, I guess, like, it's like seconds before, and it's like, welcome back to the show. We're like, all right, we're doing this scene. But
yeah, it's fun because like we're kind of like the audience in a way too. We're finding things out and we have to adapt, right when we find it out. So yeah.
Steven was telling me that for previous seasons he'd be like, okay, we're gonna go live in 3, 2. Wait, what's the result? And you like find out like just as you guys are going on. So how do you guys prepare for this differently than you would prepare for like a normal role that you might have? On a I don't want to say a regular show because I mean this is kind of a regular show, but for a normal scripted production,
right? For me, this is again, like Emily said, it was a totally new world for me. Like motion capture, just the logistics of it. Like motion capture was a totally new world for me. I've never done motion capture before, so we had a couple tech rehearsals where we had to go in and kind of get familiar with how to express emotion, express emotions and stuff like that. So that was definitely something that was a little bit hard to get used to. I mean, now, I feel like we kind of are getting a little more into this world. We're, getting more accustomed to it. But just like, for me, it was just like there's certain emotions I was not reading, and Kai's a more of a subtle character. And I just had to like find that line where I was like not over exaggerating, but also like I do have to over exaggerate at times because, you know, it might not read on the motion capture screen. So yeah, in that sense, it was like remembering certain facial expressions, even like that was for me. I think, I don't know about you, Em, but yeah.
It's like, well, I remember like the first day that we like got and like we were doing the motion capture, we like wrote down emotions that like were easy to like show, and the ones that were hard. It's really funny because like you'll have somebody next to us and we're making like the craziest faces ever. And, like honestly, they'll just look normal and we're just like making the craziest faces. But I don't know about you, Jay, but like I think when it comes to like working on like the script and my lines, a lot of it comes to play with, can I like, how am I going to move my body? Like, what am I going to do? Like if I can't clap here, so like I have to make sure that like whatever movement I make correlates well with my character. Yeah,
I try to take notes of that too, because each of our characters have like certain things that they're known for. Like Ember's very like expressive with her arms and all that stuff, and Kai's a little more reserved, and he tries to make smoother movements, you know, with, you know, instead of like joltier movements. So in that sense, those things I do try to prepare for with the physicality of it. But just as Em said, getting emotions down was sometimes like, I was like, I'm smiling, and then, are you sure you're smiling? Because you can't like read it. I'm like stretching my facial muscles. But so it's sometimes kind of a workout. But
so how do you guys see your heist going? We recently found out in one of the more recent episodes that this is actually real. You guys are going to be the masterminds behind developing the plan to steal some as of yet unknown thing. I think we're kind of being led to believe that it might have something to do with Lilith or something else. But up until that, we thought this was just kind of a plan to see what you guys were capable of. But now things might be turning a little bit more.
Yeah. Me and Jay have our theories about what we think, because we really don't know what's gonna, like, it's so funny because we get the script and then they change the script like through the week. So it's like, we really don't know what the outcomes will be sometimes. But when like finding out that the heist was actually real, I don't know. I feel like Ember has a lot of empathy with Kai's character now, like the more the show goes on. And same thing with Kai's character with Ember. And I think that a lot of emotions might get in the way of the heist, in my opinion. Yeah.
Like Emily said, we have our own theories too. We try to be fans on the side, and we're like, we might team up instead of going at each other. You know, there was some allusions to like us going rogue, maybe away from the humans. I mean, like that would be one of my predictions, I think. In terms of like specifics on how the heist will go, like when we even found out like not too far away from the fans that the heist was going to be real. So we're going to go along with this. Exactly, we're going to go along with this. So so in terms of like specifics on where the heist will end up, stay tuned. And we're staying tuned too. So
our teams are like growing as well, and I think the more the teams grow, the more complicated the like the non-AI world gets. Like whenever we watch the other scenes, we're like, damn, did not know that was going on. But like there's a lot of complications that might happen for the heist for both of them, in my opinion.
And is this your guys' first foray into like sci-fi, or have you guys been fans of this genre in the past?
Oh, I mean, I've definitely been a fan. I love sci-fi. The classics, all of them. But in terms of like delving deep in a role, like this deep into a sci-fi role, this is like my first time for sure. And what better way to get introduced to it through this innovative show? So Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, this is my first time like working with the sci-fi character. And I was so excited because especially like in high school, I was really into like the sci-fi channels. I was like,
I love that channel too.
yeah. I was like, it's funny because like watching those shows back now that I'm older, I'm like, I don't know if I should be watching this at the
It's funny. Some of those older sci-fi shows are like, I guess what you would call now like a comfort show. Like I know them. They're nostalgic for when from when I was a kid, and now it's like, okay, well, I need something on in the background. I'm going to turn on like season 3 of Eureka. Just because. For you guys, like what are those kind of shows for you guys? Like what are you into as people, as actors?
Well, sci-fi or just like in general?
Both.
Yeah. Well, for sci-fi, I was really into Being Human. I don't know if you ever like
the British or the American version.
The American version. But like I was like really into that show at one point. But I watch a lot of like Showtime shows. I'm really excited for Dexter to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Excited for that. A lot of Netflix, Stranger Things. Excited for the new season of Stranger Things, and just like I've been watching. We all like the entire cast. Like we all came in one day and we're like, "Did you watch Squid Game?" And a couple people were like, "We haven't finished it yet." And 2 days later, they're like, "We all finished Squid Game." So I was on that Squid Game hype too.
I'm a little bit of a Trekkie, a little bit.
Oh, you're a man after my own heart.
I'm a Patrick Stewart fan, so I love everything that he does as well. So a little bit of Trekkie. I'm not familiar with all the seasons, but all the seasons that he's in, I'm a fan of. But in terms of like, I love, one of my favorite shows is Breaking Bad. That's like my all-time favorite show. I think shows that are very like intricate and like, it seems like everything falls into place so well. Those are the kind of shows that I really love. Yeah. And I think Breaking Bad does that. Star Trek goes off some tangents sometimes, but I still love it for what it is. And that, and I'm a huge, me and Emily always connect on Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things. It's a great modern, also homage to like the 80s, sci-fi flicks. So I think it's a good combination of everything for today's modern time. So so definitely a fan.
Oh, awesome. And I think my well, not really my last question, but something that I did want to ask, because I came across this last week. There's a show on, I don't remember what channel it is, but it's called Alter Ego. It is a singing competition show that uses the same type of AI avatar type things that you guys perform on this. It is ridiculous.
Wow.
And I thought it was really cool that this technology that you guys are doing on here is actually also on something on like network TV. So as you guys progress as actors and move forward in the industry, do you see that kind of a thing becoming more normal? Because I mean, obviously motion capture is becoming a huge thing with CGI characters, but do you think it might take over real, like you might get like something that's like all completely, that you might be working with an AI character one day?
That's a really good question.
I think yes and no, just because it's so like it takes so long sometimes to get it like set up. Like you think time might be an issue with that. That's like the only thing I'm like, I don't know. I think I think the technology will advance to make it a lot easier to use, but I can see it like being used like on some TV shows, to be honest. I think it's fun. I don't see why not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of it's this question I struggle with. It's a question that our characters in our show struggle with too, and there's a lot of themes about that. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, hopefully, like we'll still have jobs in the future. But I don't know. Like, if you need a human to drive that AI, ultimately, but I don't know, like how technology, you can't predict where it's going to go. I mean, and how fast it's going to do. Well, so there's reservations about it on my side, but also, it's really cool. Like, it's awesome to see this develop, so I'm kind of like on the fence about it, I guess. So when we first started working with it, like how much it has got like progressed in like a matter of weeks is like kind of shocking.
Has that actually like changed how you guys are working with it? Did it start off as one thing and now you guys are using it in a different way?
Yeah, I mean,
or not necessarily a different way, but
kind of.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, for me and Emily first did it, we did like minimal motion capture like suits, and then they wanted more, versatility and physicality with it. So we started changing our suits to more. It was like a full body. Now we're full body motion capture suits. Yeah. So with all the headbands and all that stuff, and now there's like little intricacies that they try to develop every week to improve our movements and stuff. So on the tech side, they're developing, but and suit wise, we've been wearing the same suit since day one. Just slight changes. Yeah. But
it's crazy because like when we didn't have the suits, we're like, oh, we can't really do much, and then they put these suits on us, and we're like,
it reads pretty well,
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to checking out the show on its new day, which is now Fridays.
Yeah, this is a good episode, so you have to tune in for it.
Yep, Friday nights are going to be pretty cool.
I'm excited, especially after the end of this past week with this mysterious figure coming in and threatening texts. Gonna have to find out what's going on there.
You'll see.